So today I wanted to answer another question from a commenter, Pragmatic Crystal. Yesterday she asked the video, have I ever injured myself while working out? The answer to that is yes. I'll share two stories that came to my mind off the top of my head, although there might be more. Well, I'll share three, although the third story isn't really working out. And I'll share that one first, and that's because it's basketball. So in high school, I was playing basketball, and I was trying to pass the ball. Details don't really matter, but I jammed my finger. And you know, those of you who play basketball or other sports, you already know how it feels like when you jam your finger. You kind of pull it out, whatever. I just thought I jammed my finger. I didn't know. I forgot the details of what happened, but eventually I realized I wasn't able to bend my finger. Went to the doctor, hospital, x-rays, whoop-de-whoop. I ended up finding out I broke my finger. For about 2 weeks, I had to wear, even though it was just this finger, I had to wear a cast. Actually, it was my right hand. I had to wear a cast all the way up to my elbow for like 2 weeks, which sucked. I still wanted to play basketball, so I remember I had to play basketball with only my left hand. And I actually got pretty decent, not good, but decent playing basketball with my left hand. But obviously, the moment my right hand was healed, I played basketball regularly. So that was the first time. So that wasn't working out. That was just playing basketball, but I still consider that an injury. The second story I have is not really fun to tell. Well, it's not exciting or funny to tell. It was just a random story. This actually happened to me was it last year? Or it might have been, it was either late last year or early this year. I think it was early this year. I don't remember. I think it's November last year. So it doesn't really matter, but either way, it was one of those situations where I did the math wrong. I was trying to do deadlift. I did the math wrong of how much I put on the actual barbell. So, you know those situations where you're going to pick something up or push something or pull something and you think it's going to be lighter than what you expect, and then it kind of shocks you like, oh, that's heavy. So that's kind of what happened to me with the deadlift. So I was doing what I thought was a lighter weight, and so I did the deadlift. It was proper form, but I didn't brace myself as much as I should have for the lift. And so I lifted up thinking it was going to be easy and light, and it was a lot heavier than I thought. And so I kind of like strained my back, and that kind of put me in a painful situation for about 2 weeks. Well, it took 2 weeks for me to recover from that pain. Fully recover until I was like back to normal. And between that time, like, it hurt to even just get out the car. It was painful to get in and out of the car, getting out of bed, doing anything. And the funny thing though was when I did hurt myself that time, I was actually able to finish my workout. So I did the deadlift, I hurt myself, and then I continued my workout. But then throughout the day, the pain got increasingly worse until it was just excruciating pain. And that was last year, I think. The third and final story, this one was actually hilarious, although it's one of those things where you probably had to be there for it in order for it to be funny. But even just thinking about it now, I just know it was hilarious. So this time I was actually in college and I was on the treadmill doing, I was walking or running on the treadmill. Now this particular treadmill isn't like the regular treadmill that you guys are probably thinking about, where it's just like the regular belt that goes across and it just loops around. So this one wasn't like a smooth belt. It was, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like these, it was a harder surface, and there's like these little not plaques, but these little, it's segmented. There are segments, and it wasn't smooth. It was like, I don't know how to describe it, but they're harder. It's a harder surface, and instead of the belt on the treadmill being a nice and smooth belt, there were just segments that were harder that rotated around the treadmill. Anyways, long story short, the way the gym was set up was that the treadmills were kind of like on one end, so that literally the entire gym is facing the treadmills. Luckily, right next to me, there was a guy on the rowing machine, and then other treadmills to the right of me. So anyways, long story short, once again, I'm saying that I'm jogging on the treadmill, doing my cardio, and I had tripped a little bit because, I said it's not a smooth surface. I had tripped a little bit, caught myself, kept on running. After about maybe 5 or 10 minutes, I don't remember how long it was, I tripped again, but this time I fell, and instead of just falling off the treadmill completely, I immediately grabbed on and held on to the railings of the handrails of the treadmill, and I didn't know what to do. So I had one leg that was kind of like hanging off the edge of the treadmill. The other leg was still like getting pretty much scraped up and scratched from the treadmill, just constantly rotating on my leg, because like I said, it wasn't a smooth one. It was grinding on my leg. And so I didn't know what to do. So I'm holding there. I'm like, this is embarrassing. And luckily, the guy next to me on the rowing machine immediately got up and pulled the emergency stop on the treadmill. And then he asked me if I was okay. I was like, yeah, I'm all right. I was embarrassed because I didn't even look behind me, because I was like, man, just imagine everyone behind me probably laughing because I almost ate it on the treadmill. And yeah, I get back up. I start walking. I'm like, I'm not going to run right now. I'm just going to walk. I kind of like glance down at my leg, trying to act natural, and I see my leg is just bleeding, like blood is just dripping down my leg. I was like, okay, I can't continue because I'm going to get blood all over the treadmill. So I just stopped the treadmill, and I walked back to my dorm room. And so, yeah, that was probably one of the most embarrassing times that I hurt myself while working out. So those are my stories. I know there's probably more that I have in my mind, but those are the ones that came to my mind. So yes, Pragmatic Crystal, I have injured myself working out. So those are my stories for now. So hopefully that was entertaining a little bit for those of you guys. If you guys have any other stories that you have that might be funny, feel free to share them below. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.